Good afternoon, friends. How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I am good. We got a lot more people jumping on, so let's get them going. So another. All right. Well, we're giving people another minute or so to get going. Let's start off with some goodness. What you guys got good? What's happened in the last week or so in your world that's just great? Business, personal, I don't care what it is. Somebody share it while I keep letting people into this waiting room. Go for it. You don't need to raise your hand, Mark Fonte. You just go.
Mega Agent Camp, phenomenal. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then I bookended the week with some coaching with B Coaching over in Stillwater, which really supported a lot of what Mega Camp had to offer. Phenomenal week.
That is fantastic. And you're just rubbing it right in. This is the first mega camp I think I've missed in over a decade.
I was
The
looking for you.
the FOMO was real, my friends. It was
I was
it was
looking
a
for you,
lot.
bud.
Oh my goodness. All right. I know that we've got more people probably coming. I'll keep letting them in, and yet I'm going to get us going to make sure that we are done in a timely manner. And I first want to thank you guys all for being here and being on time. I know a lot of you. I see a lot of friendly faces from about a year ago this time, and I'm super excited to be coming back. I loved doing Bold with you guys, and I know we've also got some new people who are getting involved. So I'm going to give just a quick rundown on who I am so you can decide if you actually want to listen or not, and then we'll go from there. So, guys, my name is Hudson Warren. I think one of the first things you should know about me, if you don't know me already, is that I am still a producing active agent dealing with the changes with NAR, dealing with the shift in the market. So I know for some of your agents, they're going to ask about the coach, and that's something important to share that I'm still doing what they're doing. I lead a small expansion team that covers the west coast of Florida. I'm in Tampa, and yet we cover everything from about an hour north of that all the way down through Naples. So I'm doing what they're doing. It's important for them to know that I'm in the trenches with them. I am a MAPS coach. My focus is bold. I love what I do. There's a lot of people on this screen that do know me and will vouch that my passion for bold is a 10 out of 10, even on my worst days. So just trust them. You don't have to trust me. Trust them. I am a former team leader, so I've sat on the leadership side of things. So I do understand how crazy your world is, which is why these Zooms will always be quick. And I'm going to lay out a launch plan today that a lot of you will be familiar with. My goal is to always, you have the biggest bold possible with the least work possible. I want to keep you in your money making activities while still filling the room. So I'm going to make it really easy for you guys. I am a one-on-one coach at the market center level. I take new cappers and I turn them into megas, or I help them turn themselves into megas, I should say. And I'm married and I got 6 kids under the age of 14. So I got like 3 full-time jobs and a half dozen children. And my world is big and beautiful and insane, and I like it that way. And one other fun little thing to keep in your hat to share with people who are asking about the coach. Do a lot of your agents run around like a lunatic with their head cut off all the time, like moving in too many directions, working too many hours? Y'all, I do not work nights. I do not work weekends. I'm not perfect, so there's probably 2 or 3 exceptions a year. I don't say it to brag. I say it because if you have somebody in your world who really needs to kind of get purposeful and intentional with the way they use their time, since it's so finite, it's something I'm very passionate about and I adhere to at a high level. So that's me. And here's my goal. Today's call, we're going to go over the easiest, best way for you to launch this bold. I'm going to get your individual market center goals. I'm going to ask you, like, this is not for me to like scream at you if you don't hit it. It's not for me to give to MAPS and put you on some list of bad bold launches. Like, this is so I know where you really want it to be. And I'm all about big goals and I will give you the tools to get there. So let's jump into it. I have 3 major components to a successful bold launch. I know that most of you have launched before and a lot of you have launched with me before. And here's my promise to you. If you've launched many times and you have your way and I give you anything conflicting, we can talk about it. I'm just asking you to be open to my way because my way will be the least amount of work for you and the best results. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get in front of all of your ALCs. So after this call today, I'll need for you guys to reach out to me. A couple of you have, most of you were not on the schedule yet. I want to know when that next ALC meeting is so I can get that on the calendar. And I want to get in front of your most important people and make them feel important. It is my experience in 5.5 years of coaching Bold that the best Bolds have ALC buy-in. Your jobs are harder getting people in that room if the ALC is not there. It is a great trickle-down thing, and we can get them in at the beginning. So we're going to get an ALC meeting scheduled. You'll tell me how much time I have with them. If we need to do a standalone meeting because your next meeting is stacked, that's fine too. Just get with me for that so that we can get that scheduled. I will come and give them value before I ask them anything about Bold, just so you know. My goal is not to come on and preach at them why they should be there. It's to add value first and then talk about why they should be there for themselves, okay? So ALC is number 1. Number 2 is Bold team meeting. Now, in my world, the Bold team meeting is your opportunity. If you have 50 people in that room, let's roll out with 25 full Bold registrations. And I'll give you the layout for that. We can talk about it later as we get into these meetings. And yet I will give you a simple plan to follow as long as you can get me in front of your people. To do the Bold team meeting right, I'm going to need the majority of your meeting, like probably 40 minutes or so. I'm not going to talk that whole time. And yet that's what I'll need. So just know that whatever you got to shuffle to make that happen, your reward will be a ton of the registrations that you need to hit your goal. Okay. And the third thing is care calls, one-on-one connections with your roster. You're already doing that or supposed to be doing that. So here's your opportunity if you're not currently, because you got 800 things to do. Are a lot of your agents on some level struggling right now? Cool, I'm seeing hand raised, like a lot of people's business is down. A lot of people are not on track for their goals. Then you've got the freak out with all of the changes that happened literally this weekend, right? The best use of some of your time, it doesn't all have to happen in one day, right? Is for you guys to just get on the phone, and not just you. This is an all hands on deck, all leadership, all staff. Get on and talk to them. And so what I don't want you to do is call through your roster and say, hey, Bold's coming. Do you want to come? Hey, Bold's coming. Do you want to come? Because that doesn't give the best results. I want you to call and ask people how they're doing. Ask how their business is going. Ask if they're on track. Excuse me, if they're on track to hit their goals. That's what I want you to do. I promise if you ask them a few questions, you're going to find something that's not great. And then you're going to be the doctor bringing the prescription. Like, oh gosh, man, I am so sorry to hear you're behind like that. I've got a great opportunity though. Bold is coming. It's a great way for you to catch up and still finish this year strong. Like if we lead with Bold, we don't win. We want to lead with them and then make Bold the fix for whatever situation they're in. And that could be personal too. That could be that they're working too much, or they're struggling with the NAR changes, or they don't spend enough time with their kids. Whatever it is, you can still tie it back, okay? So, and then what I would ask for you to do with those care calls so that you guys get great results and you're not haphazardly doing it is take your roster and use a green, yellow, red light system, okay? The minute somebody is registered, they're highlighted green. You don't need to worry about them any longer. And the great news about somebody registering early is, guys, they're going to change their behavior the minute the credit card gets charged. I've seen it so many times. So we're going to get them going early. Yellow is for anybody who is a no or they gave you first step only. Like those are people we're going to keep coming back to because most of us have probably learned the concept of the decision continuum, that not every no is really a no and not every yes is really a yes. The only time I would tell you to mark somebody red, almost every market center has 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people who are like, if you ask me to go to Bold one more time, I'm going to move my license. If they're going to yell at you about it, you can mark them red. If somebody is going to be out of town on some amazing 2-month vacation, mark them red. Like otherwise, keep them in the yellow and just come back to them. Have me talk to them. Have somebody else on your team talk to them. So if we do those 3 things, we'll win. And I trust by now you've heard me reference full Bold registrations a lot, excuse me. My philosophy about a launch is first step doesn't exist until we need it to. Like, we focus on full bold because you've all probably been, those of you that have launched a number of bolds, you've probably been to a bold where you had a lot of converting to do, and you know the coach can't do it all because there's just one of me, and it's a stressful day. When we walk in with a wild number of full bold, and I've walked in multiple times already at the goal into first step. So we're going to focus on full bolds, even if that's not how you've done it in the past. And when we're a week or two out from launch, if the numbers aren't where we need them to be, then guess what? We will change position. We will start focusing on first step. We can do that relatively last minute because people like free lunch. Like it'll be easy to do that. And yet let's start with full bold because that makes your jobs easier, and the heightened results are going to start showing up for you sooner, which affects your market center and the culture and your paychecks, to be frank, right? So those are the three main things. So before I go to some supplemental things, what questions do you guys have? There are no bad questions. I'm your friend. It's all good. Just don't go all at once, though, because that gets really weird for me. Are you good? Okay, I'll keep going. If you have questions, write them down or put them in chat or something. All right, so I got three things that are supplemental. And when I say supplemental, I mean, I've seen a lot of market centers make these three things their only part of the plan, and the results don't go well. So like these are supplemental to those three things we just discussed. Put purple anything all over your market center. I know it sounds so rudimentary. It absolutely works. When you paint that office purple, not literally, we're talking about you go to the dollar store or Party City with a $20 to $40 budget, you'll do great. Purple stuff everywhere will get people talking, and that's what we want. It's going to make our conversations easier because they're going to bring up the topic. So get that office purple. Use social media as a boost, not your only effort. So share a bold law here and there. Maybe create a separate Facebook event for bold. If you have any testimonials or if you want to get some from people who have gone, be great to put those on your social media. It kind of keeps things energized. And then every time you get somebody registered for full bold, and by the way, I want to tell you something. You guys are already at 17 first step and 8 full bold, and this is our first real meeting. So I want to give you a lot of kudos for starting off strong. So you already have some people that you could go to. When somebody signs up, there's going to be an announcement in your Facebook group. Their face is going to go up on a wall wherever your high traffic area is. Make it your bold wall. That Bob thing that my assistant sent out, it's a treasure trove of stuff that you don't need to recreate, right? There's a template that you can use. You're just going to pop their picture and their name on there, put it up on the wall. I'm going to bold. Why aren't you? Whatever, right? Get a testimonial from everybody that signs up. And I'll tell you, if they sign up like in front of you, like, or they're in the office when they do it, just get your phone out and make them do it right off the cuff so they don't overthink it. That level of look at me and FOMO is really going to help you guys energetically in the market center. And if we get momentum going quickly, the momentum is really easy to maintain and have a super strong launch. So those are the three kind of supplemental things. And then I'm going to give you some best practices. We're going to talk about goals. I'm going to take any questions and I'm going to set you off to light the world on fire. All right. So a couple things. And why can't I even read my own writing? That's so special. I'll go to the next one. If there's anybody who isn't already on the email chain that is a part of your staff, please send me or my assistant or both of us their information. I know the emails can get redundant. I also know that people are more likely to get involved if they feel involved. And so your Dofi, your agent services, people like that, they don't have to reply to every email. It's just good for them to see what's going on. If they're not here live, get on the recording. This is a more the merrier situation. These weekly Zooms, if your people are on here, they'll feel more empowered to help you. Okay, so that's one thing. Anybody that should be on there, let me know. You all should have, some of you might not yet, you all should have gotten an email with discount codes, okay? So leadership goes for half price. It's been that way for a long time. One thing to keep in mind with that is that if you know, or you know someone on your leadership team is going to take this bold, a great momentum booster is just get them registered now. It's just, they're gonna do it at some point. Just get them registered now. And then the host market center, which is Crystals, you get 10 recruit discounts. Every other market center gets 5. And I trust I won't have to put my foot in my mouth later. Guys, if you're crushing it and your bold is getting as big as I think this one's gonna be, I can probably shake some more discounts out of maps if you need it. So just, we'll see how things go. Those discount codes are $199 as opposed to $799. It is good for anyone who is not currently with Keller Williams. And the only thing to keep in mind, because I've had challenges here before, is be certain that if you have somebody that's going to onboard before bold starts, get them registered before you onboard them. If KWRI sees that they're in the system, they will kick that discount registration out and make them pay full price. So you could literally register a recruit today and onboard them tomorrow, and you would be fine. There's not a grace period or anything. And yet make sure you do it before you have onboarded them. I've had some very upset people before, and I have no control over it. So that's that. And then one other big thing is register your folks on the spot. I know you're busy. Remember, I've sat in the leadership role. I know how insane it is. And as an active agent, I say this with a grain of salt to myself, like, man, we're such good procrastinators. A lot of you sold real estate at one point. Some of you might still do it. Like, oh man, agents are so good at procrastinating. If they tell you yes and they're in front of you, grab your phone, grab your computer, just get them registered right on the spot. If you're on the phone and they say yes, you know what? These people trust you. They're part of your world. Hey, you know what? I'm going to get you registered right now if you have just a second. So go ahead and get your credit card out. I'll start typing. Like, guys, just get it done. You know, people will not register because they got to the thing that asked for their Keller Williams ID and they didn't know how to look it up, so they just move on. It's the silliest things that will happen. So if you can just, it'll be extra work for that minute or two, and yet it's going to save you a bunch of work down the road as having to chase them. So that's the main gist. So are there any questions or concerns or anything with what I just shared? Let's start there, and then we'll go into goals. So I'm either crushing it or you guys are all over for the day. Okay, so we're good? No question? Yes. Oh, okay, thank you. I like
Yeah, you're
that.
crushing it, yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go market center by market center, and I'm going to ask for you to give me your full bold goal. All right. And if someone's not on here, it's no big deal, whatever. I'm going to send out the recording. They can send it to me later. I don't want you to give me a ridiculous goal that you have no intention of hitting. And yet, please, this is not your time to think small. A lot of people here can vouch. Nothing has changed, right, Crystal? We're in the same venue as last year, right? Guys, the venue's enormous. So maps will cut off a bold at 200 registrations. And honestly, I think we can get there. And if it's like the last bold, and we filled that room very quickly with less market centers that we have this time. We hit, what was it, about 130 people? So get your people in and don't be shy with your goal. All right, think big. It's going to be great. And by the way, I've done a 200 person bold before. I didn't die and neither did the agents. It's totally great. Oh, I don't know what that was for. All right, so I'm just going to go one by one. I'm going to use market center numbers because I learned last time that in Minnesota, you guys like to have like 10 different names for your market centers. So I'm just going to use market center numbers because that's way easier. 358, our host market center. What is your goal for full bold registrations?
30.
30. Okay. 697.
Excuse me, 70.
70. Really calling our host market center the carpet. Okay. 427. Just kidding, Crystal. 427. What is your goal for full bolds?
30.
30. Ooh, in unison too. I like that.
Look it up.
I know. I like that. 537.
50.
50. 378. Anybody here? Nope. Okay. 600. Anybody here?
20.
20. Perfect. 701.
20 as well.
Oh, 20. 876.
10.
10. Thank you. And 265. Do I have anybody?
Yes. 20.
20. Awesome. Is anybody else, because we have some other market centers we've invited and not really heard back from. Are there any other market centers on here that I did not mention?
378, 20.
378, 20. Oh, there you are. Perfect. Okay, cool. Anybody else? All right. So I'm not a math major, and that's more than 200. So here's what I'll tell you. Like, it is first come, first serve. And this is not, I trust you'll know, I got enough friends on here that you can vouch for me later if you think that guy's just selling. Like, with the amount of market centers that we have, we're going to hit a max capacity. So that's one more reason to really focus on full bolds now. And look, if we've got room when we get the first step, then we've got room and we'll add people and we'll go right until Maps makes me shut it down. And yet what happens in October, and those of you that have been around for a while have seen this, I'm sure, like the amount of bolds we have in October is every bold coach is doing 3 to 4 a week. There's no way to create a second bold. So get your people in there early. And one more thing that I want you to know, and then I'm just going to open it up to any other questions or if anybody wants to share anything about last time. And I mean this, guys, I'm your partner here. I know your roles are crazy. I know sometimes they're a little thankless, and I know they're very hectic. You're going to have to put some work in, and yet I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. You talk to somebody and they're on the fence and you can't tip them over. Please just send me a text with their information and a line or two of what I should know, and I will jump on the phone at my earliest convenience and I will help convert them. You've got a team in your market center and you're looking to get that whole team into bold. Tell me when their team meeting is, connect me with the Rainmaker. I would be happy to meet with them. Like whatever it is you need me to do, you know, you're going to send me ALC and team meeting options so we can get those on the calendar. Please do that within the next day or so it doesn't go on the pile of things that never happens, right? If you have a morning mastermind call and you want me to hop on at some point, let me know. As long as I'm not on a plane or in a bold room, I'll make it work. You have a different class that you want me to jump in on for 5 minutes at the beginning and do, like, tell me what you need from me to help you with the hard work you're putting in, and I will always help you. You have a staff member that's reluctant to make calls because that's new to them. I will role play with them. Use me as your partner. You're going to have to do a lot of the work, and you will be the lead because you have the greater connection to your agents, and I will back you up wherever you need me to. So please take me up on that so that your life is not miserable and neither are your results. Okay. Any other questions, whether they're big, small, logistical, whatever, like any questions, any concerns, anything?
Not questions, but for any of the market centers that weren't with Hudson last year, I've been involved in 7 years worth of bolds, and fight as hard as you can to get him back. So if he hasn't worked with your market center yet, you use that story at least. And there's a few other TLs on here that can vouch for that. Like, it's powerful.
I appreciate that. I didn't even pay her to say it. I'm not perfect, and my purpose for being on this earth is to help people hit goals that they didn't believe they could hit, and to find the strengths that are within them that they never believed were there. And that's what Bold did for me. I am somebody who went from broke and miserable to a millionaire in 5 years because of Bold, 100% because of Bold. And there's a lot more to that story, and I'll share it another time when we have more time. Like, you have so many people in your market center, from new agents to highly experienced ones, who have just on their potential and their quality of life. And I need your partnership to help them take off like a rocket. And the last thing that I'll say, and then I'll let you guys go. P.S. You're my biggest launch as far as market centers, and we're going to be done like with no stress. So you guys are awesome. the reality, I don't say this to be negative or to paint, like to scare you. Just the reality is, if you're not already realizing this, is that the market is going to change regardless of the NAR changes. Like the market's shifting. I'm in Florida. We're like a lead indicator state, right? Florida, California, Arizona, Nevada, we shift first. Our market is not in the tank. It's not anything extreme like 2009, but our inventory has gone from, in a year, has gone from nothing to many months of inventory. And agents are selling less real estate, and then you add in the NAR stuff. This is the time where your agents are the most vulnerable to be recruited by another company. And some of your conversations with these people are going to be a little uncomfortable, like your yellow people that you've got to go back to a number of times, and they're going to give you pushback. I'm going to challenge you and empower you to be willing to stand up for their greatness. Because if you don't, and they get that one right recruiting call from that one person who's not afraid to tell them the truth, you're going to lose them. And I have been with this company for 18 years. I like us being on top, and I'd like to keep us there. So fight for your people. We're going to max out this bold. It is going to be the most energetically amazing thing you've ever seen. And the results you will see at the market center level when you get a good number of people in there, in your bonuses, in the owner profit, is going to be off the charts. So I'm super excited. This meeting will be weekly. I will always record it. Do your best to have you and anyone else involved. Just get them on here live. I'm not even going to call them out if they're doing something in the background, like your Dofi or something. Like, just get them on here so they feel involved, so that they will help you at a higher level. Reach out to me anytime. Please, please, please send me the dates for your ALC and team meetings when you would like me to be there. That's all. There is only one of me. That's first come, first serve. And I also am in a bold right now. So I'll do my best to make things work. And if not, we'll strategize. And yet, please just get that communication going. And otherwise, go have a great rest of your week. I am here as a resource. I am so excited to be back with you guys. And it's going to be great. All right. I appreciate you guys. You are wonderful. I will see you soon.
Thanks, Hudson.
Thanks, Hudson.
Bye.
Yeah, my pleasure. Bye.